Gamers are dying out. Not literally, chat. Not literally. Okay, let's do it. 3, 2, 1, boom.
Sometimes things feel different, but you can't quite put your finger on why.
No,
well, today we're going to find out why, because gaming has
Roblox.
changed. We've got new data that suggests 93% of kids prefer playing games on phones. Not PC, not console,
Oh
phones.
my god. You want to know why? Because parents give their kids phones now right off the rip. And they don't have to pay for it. Do you know, like, back in the day, if you wanted a fucking Game Boy or a Nintendo DS, you had to beg, shit, piss, and cry to get it. And now you just, like, you just have your phone because your parents give you a phone, so it's, like, really easy to have access to video games, as opposed to, like, saving up money or getting a job or saving up your allowance.
So remember your
That's
boy
part of the
Wyatt
reason.
Chang? Don't you guys have phones? Oh
Yeah,
dear,
don't you have
turns out
those
he was a little
phones?
bit prescient. But here's another aspect to it. It's how these kids engage with games. Here's a quote. They no longer identify as gamers. They identify as players of a specific game. So it's...
I think, hot take, I disagree. I think that there's a lot of people who identified with a lot of games that came out in the last 10 years. For example, League of Legends. It came out in, like, what, 2009? And I think that a lot of people just, like, started playing League and only played League. I think being a quote-unquote League player or a WoW player has been around forever. Yeah, they just play one game. I don't think that's actually a new thing. Maybe it's more common now, but for sure.
not that games are a medium that they like,
Yeah.
it's that they play Roblox or they play Fortnite.
Yeah,
so
or
directionally,
COD player,
based on
yeah.
the
What
real
game
trends that we're
indies?
seeing, the future of gaming looks like it's people who are fans of one game that probably play it on a phone, which is a bit weird. I don't like it, and it raises a big question. What does it mean for people who prefer what I'll just call traditional gaming experiences? Maybe people like you and me.
Traditional.
Okay.
What? What do you mean traditional? PC gaming is traditional now?
So in our last video, we looked at gaming's past and compared it to now. And we talked about the 1983 game crash that leveled the American games industry. It set so many standards for where we are now, but there was a side effect that we didn't talk about, and it's one that's key to gaming's future. You see, when games resurged in America post-1980s game crash, they were sold as toys for children, and that decided the marketing for like the next 40 years. The medium literally grew up alongside its audience. You had Rob the Robot marketed to young boys. Then came G4, Tony Hawk, Call of Duty for the cool teenagers. I was a cool teenager, totally. No, I wasn't. Now, of course, what do we have? Well, we've got cinematic sad dad games, like The Last of Us. Yeah, it's grown up with us. I'd absolutely say gaming has always been for everyone. Anyone can pick up a game. A Nintendo game is an example. But the culture and the marketing, not so much. It has been targeted. And I want you to think about Battlefield 6 and how it just got revealed. Because they unironically played Limp Bizkit. Yeah.
Oh my god. Chad, did your knees just creak? Did your bones just crack a little bit?
Yeah, Limp Bizkit. So, you know,
Fucking
go take your
Fred
medicine
Durst,
if
motherfucker,
you've remembered this track. And it does kind of show us something. The culture and marketing around the game industry hasn't changed with technology. They haven't changed with demographics. The kids of 2025, they will not be impressed by Limp Bizkit selling a game in the way that maybe the target audience of Battlefield 6 will feel nostalgic, especially one that needs a $600 console. And why would they be? They have thousands of experiences on their phones. Experiences that are, to them, just as entertaining. Or, should I say, to their brain chemistry and systems are just as engaging. Personally, I think there's something to be said for the depth of an experience. But basically, that's what they think games can and should be. And now we've got data, we've got stats to back it up. And, well, take your Vicodin, because this is kind of going to hurt. IGN's State of Gaming report frames this as a generational shift, and it does go along with a lot of other data that we've seen. Essentially, Gen X and millennials think of gaming in terms of platform loyalty. That's, you know,
that's why WoW and League of Legends is, like, still around. I know this is gonna make a lot of people upset, but League of Legends is unironically not bringing in new people because it's just, like, not appealing to young kids anymore. Yeah. The League is experiencing what World of Warcraft experienced 10 years ago. Because it's become so, like, it's an old game, it's an unk game. Like, even Fortnite, I know this is gonna be another really, really not nice thing to say, but Fortnite is getting to that stage where it's becoming slowly the unk game. Like, people don't, like, kids don't really fucking play Fortnite that often. Roblox is definitely, like, more appealing.
70s through
it's
the
nearly
90s
a decade on. It came out in like 2016 or 17.
Most of the people watching this video, at least per the demographics I see on YouTube, we're no strangers to tribalism in gaming. That's why we, you know, have a console war or a PC master race. But distinctions between platforms are, of course, completely breaking down. We see that. I mean, the need for a platform is kind of disappearing. We see that in cross-platform games, but younger generations simply do not engage in the same way whatsoever. Here's some stats to make that make sense. 93% of under 13s prefer playing games on their phone. So that's...
Yeah, because they can get their phone off their parents, install a game, and then just swipe their credit card if they need to. Yeah, it's ease of accessibility. I don't think it's because kids are getting stupider. They may well be, but the ease of access has been so easy. I only started playing games because my dad had a work laptop for work, and it had barely enough memory to play a little game. A little bit of a game. That's literally how it started for me. I didn't have access to the thing, like a phone, to play stuff on my phone. My parents had that access. It's just by proxy.
The 2010s generation. The cooked generation. Only 15% prefer a core PC.
What the
This is very sad. And by PC, probably a laptop. Even 32% of millennials now prefer playing on phones. I have to wonder if it's because, well, the torment nexus that is called the world has cooked all of our brains to the point where that's really all that we can latch onto. You know, convenience. But for those numbers in the 80s and the 90s, well, that's what those people have grown up with. Now, this graph from Matthew Ball's State of Gaming report does help to explain everything as well. Let's look at...
Hold on, let me look. Roblox release, iPad release. 4-year-old at iPad release hits Roblox demo. 1-year-old at iPad release hits Roblox demo. Roblox average monthly hours of engagement. Dude, holy shit! This makes so much sense! And they have over twice of Disney Plus and 43% of Netflix engagement.
Everything as well.
Dude,
let's
COVID
look at Roblox as a...
COVID cooked children. It really did. It cooked them.
Case study, which of course does mean content warning. Get ready for some real goddamn sheer horror. Roblox has existed since 2007. That was the first full year of the Xbox 360, PS3, and the Wii. But it didn't take off properly until 2016. It didn't really explode until an audience fluid in tablets began playing. And then the pandemic kind of changed everything. Mobile play massively increased, but here's the key difference. Unlike the rest of the...
Literally, I think it doubled? No, it more than doubled. Yeah, look, it's at just over 3 billion. It doubled from 2019 to 2020. It's insane.
Industry post-pandemic, Roblox kept growing. Yeah, so you know the way we talk about the games crash and all that stuff? Well, maybe that happened in some places, but Roblox, it's the one place where those trends actually held. And it's outperforming everything. This one's crazy. Grow a Garden has the highest concurrent user base ever of a game, with 21.3 million players. It was made by a 16-year-old in 3 days. So, compare your multi-hundred staff AAA studio to a 16-year-old in 3 days and feel sad.
Yeah.
And that might sound alarming. It is alarming. Is this where gaming's going? I mean, we're already seeing Sega and Starbreeze licensing official games in Roblox. Like a Dragon, Payday, those are in Roblox.
Yep.
You could think the industry will coalesce into platform agnostic mega games, that kids will grow up with them as basically second homes, and that those will wipe out everything else. And I get the fear, and I know why the fear-mongering can work, and there are some things to be afraid of, but
I think Roblox is unironically mirroring World of Warcraft in a lot of ways. World of Warcraft was one of the first, big social platforms, and it escalated in a time where ease of access wasn't, a thing in MMOs yet. And Roblox is a very social thing, so when you start hearing all your friends as a child playing this one particular game, it will absolutely explode because every other kid on the block is going to start playing this game, and it's going to start escalating and snowballing because the social aspect makes them talk about it at school, or I don't know, at their football game, or at their soccer training. Yeah, Roblox can run easily, so that's even a bigger factor because PCs weren't even a big access point for a lot of people at the time, but WoW still exploded. I think it's just this perfect storm of ease of accessibility and popularity. Because if you're not playing Roblox, you're kind of a loser if you're a child, right? In front of your peers, you're like, I don't want to play Roblox. I don't want to. My parents won't let me. And then everybody makes fun of you, and you're like, oh, shit, I got to play it now.
The thing is, that's already how the games industry works. And I'd say,
that's how peer pressure works, man.
Some of the downsides. So what if I told you that Call of Duty and Counter-Strike are basically just Roblox, but for boomers? I don't know why I'm saying
True.
Call of Duty and boomers. Let's say Counter-Strike. Yeah, CS is boomer Roblox.
Yes.
Now, it literally isn't in many ways.
WoW is boomer Roblox. These people are invested in the social aspect. They don't care how bad the game is. It's because they want to, play with their friends. It really is. I don't know why people get so upset about it.
But what it is...
It's the
is
investment.
A mono game, because for many of those people, that
they
may as well be the only game that they play.
Or they
On
only
our
play
other
League.
channel, I cover a lot of World of Warcraft because it unfortunately got its claws into me when I was young, and now I can't escape. And to many people, World of Warcraft is basically the only game they need, the only thing they play. Now, every month, we get a new report from Circana, right? This is their engagement report. And every month, what do we see? We see the same 10 games report the highest player counts.
World of Warcraft isn't even on there.
Console and PC space. Now, sometimes...
Oh, wait, this is console. Okay, never mind. No. This is console only. I was about to say, this is not even number 10? Really? No, this is Xbox and PlayStation. Okay.
Space. Now, sometimes a cool indie like Peak will punch through, especially in PC. And looking at Matthew Ball's work, he has found the same pattern since 2021, where on PC, 5 games make up 30% of total playtime. Those games are COD, Counter-Strike, Fortnite, League, and Minecraft. The top 10 games, those eat up 50% of playtime on average. What that essentially means is massive concentration. But on consoles, things are even more concentrated. It takes just the top 5 games to hit 50% of total playtime. Those are COD.
That's also a limitation on hardware. You can't install multiple games to pick through on a console. You have to uninstall and reinstall stuff.
FIFA/EAFC,
it's
Fortnite, GTA,
limitation.
and NBA 2K. The top 10 reach 60% of playtime. So where does everyone else live? The answer is in the margins, 6.5%. What is that number? This will shock you. That is the total playtime for newly released games in 2023. And it was a good year. Just 4 games took half of that 6.5%, which were Baldur's Gate, Starfield, Diablo 4, and Hogwarts Legacy. There's strong games in there, yet only 6.5%. Why?
People don't want to play new games, man.
So many people are willing to play those new games. Because much like the kid who only plays Roblox, or maybe the teen who only plays Fortnite, for a lot of people, they only play COD. They only play EA. They only play CS.
Yeah,
And Newzoo's 2025 report shows something that's also interesting. The number of people playing just 1 to 3 games per year has actually increased consistently.
Steam has accurate data of this because they actually tally how many hours you spend on certain games every year.
Over 4 years.
Yeah,
That's
the
across
recap
Steam,
or whatever it's
PlayStation,
called.
and Xbox.
Yeah.
And the times where people do play more games, those are just when AAAs have a bad year. And that is the closest correlation they've found. Of that 1 to 3 game group in Steam, the majority play Counter-Strike, 37%, or Dota, 10%. So even then, it's still very much a case of mega games. And what we see here is it's not just the kids. No, it's actually the way that multiple industries within the games industry have went. Most players have their game. They might try something else.
Yeah.
But they very often don't, and the numbers back it up. Now think about kids playing games on their phones, or teens playing games on their phones. What does that mean for the next generation? What does that mean for people who, according to this research, do play a lot of games and are responsible for, well, at least in Roblox, one of the things that's holding up game industry growth, like literally pretty much the only thing that has continued the COVID trends that all the investor types hope for? Well, those people don't think of themselves as gamers. So what does that mean for the next generation of games? You may have heard of the now departed investing legend Charlie Munger. One of his good lines is, "Show me the incentive and I'll show you the outcome." And what these reports show us is that the incentives are changing because the audiences are changing. Companies that need a larger audience will need to meet people where they are. We're seeing that games like Genshin and Infinity Nikki look like Ubisoft-style mega games, but they're launching across console, PC, and phone. Where Winds Meet does the same. That is the new priority. And it's why PlayStation and Xbox both chase subscription models.
Yeah.
Different approaches, but same.
Gaming's fucking expensive. Getting into one video game on your phone is so much easier than investing into a PC, getting it up and running, or building your own, or whatever you decide to do, as opposed to picking up a game and fucking just playing it on your phone. Like, even if you want to play Genshin on your computer, you still need, like, a decent computer, and you need decent internet to download it. Like, it's just, like, zero effort if you do it on your phone.
Goal. These audiences expect instant access to huge libraries of games, not individual purchases. And this trickles down into design decisions. Take a look at EA's releases this year. Battlefield and Skate are effectively franchise revivals. They are legacy games coming back for an aging audience who love them, along with some Limp Bizkit to the marketing. But they're different. And honestly, in an exciting way, because they are both launching with user-generated content tools. Often I think of UGC and I think of some bizarre, skibbity situation with a lot of very vibrant colors that makes me feel old and confused happening in Roblox. Well, what does UGC mean for something like Battlefield? I'll tell you what it means. Extremely impressive shit, at least based on what we've seen from BF6 so far. So it could very much be that those dynamics work for the audiences of those games, and that if done right, those games could see growth in a similar-ish way. And there is some precedent as well. It's a little thing that we call the modding culture of PC gaming, right? Pretty big. Just that this time it's framed through Roblox's
effortless aura pose, Gojo floating. Where's the one where it's like the girl sticking her ass out? I didn't see that one. You know the one that I'm talking about? It's like, it's a cat stretching and it looks like she's humping her butt into the air. Yeah, for children, by the way, kids game.
Horrifically predatory ecosystem, one that uses kids to generate infinite revenue. Yeah, moral issues very much exist. But goddamn, what a business model! Turns out just child labor, that's where it was at, all the time. Child labor, parents' money, what could go wrong? Now, this demographic change opens audiences up to new sorts of experiences. These kids find new modes daily. They play new games daily within their Roblox. Maybe to them, they have an incredible...
Oh my god, is that Chucky from Dead by Daylight?
Roblox. Maybe to them, they have...
Oh my god, that's why kids don't play DBD.
An incredibly diverse gaming library and are playing new things absolutely all of the time. in a way that you or I maybe don't, because firing up a new indie game, learning a bunch of new systems and all of that legit just takes brain effort. I mean, for a simple example, it's no wonder that systemic experience-driven games like Peak or Lethal Company take off and then get microtransaction-filled clones in Roblox. To get that.
Would rather you pirate our game than play this microtransaction-riddled Roblox slop ripoff.
Parrot bunny. But certain games simply don't matter to this changing audience. Because so far in this video, we've not talked about linear single-player narrative games, which so far do seem to be limited to sad dad games. They just aren't in the equation
Kids
here.
don't give a
Even though I'd wager those are the games that most people watching this channel care about quite a bit indeed. That might be a shocking thing, but it might be the best thing for the games that you love. Okay, think of this. The highest rated network broadcast of 2024 was Tracker. It got 11.34 million views. High Potential and Matlock Revival followed, all exceeded 15 million viewers.
I don't watch television. I literally have no clue what he's talking about, Loki. Who am Megalon? No, like, actually, I'm not trying to be mean. I just don't watch cable. My parents love Tracker. Bro, I've never heard of it. This is actually really bad. I'm actually terminally online brain rotted. I don't know any of this. I don't either. What the fuck?
Massive success.
I know Matlock. Hasn't that been around for, like, forever? I remember my grandma talking about it. Yeah, Matlock. Okay, I know this one, but that's, like, legitimately, like, what my grandma watched and shit. My grandpa watched that in the 90s. That's what I'm saying, man.
But the market is
This is why there's such a disconnect between, like, actually really old people and, like, middle-aged people and then, like, anyone below that.
Big that you may not know about them. I literally did not know about any of those things until I came upon doing this video. Now, those shows massively outperformed Emmy-winning things like Shogun, The Bear, The Traders.
Okay, I know this one from a meme. Hold on. No.
Hacks, and all of those.
No. Go back.
Emmy-winning things like Shogun.
I know Shogun. I know this guy from the memes because he gets really mad when you cook and shit. Yeah, I know this one only from memes. I have no idea what it's about.
Bear, The Traders, Hacks, and all of those were outperformed by Squid Game and Netflix, which itself was outperformed by TikTok and social media. But it doesn't mean those experiences are being wiped out, and I think that's where we're getting to in games. When great games release, they aren't trying to appeal to everyone. They are...
Stop appealing to everyone. Stop appealing to every single person that... Even the people that don't play fucking video games. Stop.
Absolutely maxing what they should be as a game for their people. And if that is so good, it can expand its audience, then we see these games grow, and very often grow massively via viral network effect dynamics, like, say, with Lethal Company. And thinking of critical and public consensus, Expedition 33 is incredible. It is a top runner for Game of the Year. But if you look at top selling games of the year and top engagement charts, you won't see Expedition 33. It is in there. 1 in 20 players on Steam or Xbox played Expedition 33 at launch, according to SmugAlana, slightly fewer in PlayStation. But what we've learned is the market may be expanding and changing, but even now, in an industry that rewards big games and entrenched audiences, those games can still be made. They can still be enjoyed, and that is what matters. And I think the biggest lesson of all of these is that execution matters and that focus matters. Expedition 33 is everything you would want, with nothing that you would not want for a game like that. It is not a bloated, shambling mess, saddled by having to find meaningful work for a production crew of 300 people. And funnily enough, that might mean that it's well executed and that there is strong focus. I think that that is going to be the way forward for the sorts of games that many of us would be afraid we're going to stop seeing. Now, in this video, you've learned how the gaming market is changing. The demographics have completely shifted. Even how people identify within games has completely changed. And combined with the layoffs, may have you thinking there's a big old game crash around the corner.
Nope.
If you want to learn about that,
nope. Stupid people still buying shit. there are thousands, if not tens of thousands of people playing FIFA, and they know it's bad, and they don't care. That's the fucking problem. At the end of the day, these people still consume crap. Yeah, people still buy the new COD. Even though they complain about it and say it's ass, they still buy it. Yep, hooked normies, yeah.